titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah. Wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock.
Acknowledge me.
We coming for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
Yeah, we're back again, everybody. Another Saturday. Quiet down over there, Reezy.
Jesus.
Trying to start the show. Every time I start the show, this guy rubbing the microphone, sneezing, coughing, hacking. Get that done on your time, Reezy. It's the Dr. Huge show time. I'm the god of this realm. Watch this. Watch. This is how this works, Reezy. Check out how I can just Thanos snap you like that. Boom. And he'll be gone, right? And then I can bring you into this world. I can do whatever I want, right? Because it's the Dr. Huge show. Everybody get liking, subscribing, sharing. And thank you to everybody that does it. Warms my heart. It really helps the show. And also, these people here help the show. The Danny Damage from the UK, always going the wrong way here. The Sleaze down there, right? And of course, King Reezy, technical difficulty master, high level difficulty master of technicalities. Shout out to everybody. How's everybody's weekend and how we doing now? We're killing it now with the releases and everything. Feeling good.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Sleaze. You sound awesome. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Look at it. We're fucking killing it.
Let me say it one more time so you completely understand.
Let me say it one last time. Of course, go check out the store. It's a way you can support here, since YouTube will probably never let me monetize or let me show my show to anybody. So kids, there's a Teespring, Dr. Huge. I'll link it maybe later or something like that. But, we got so much wrestling to talk about and to go through. Let's start with the releases, since that's like the hot topic. You want some names? Let's. I'm just going to throw some names out and let's see what you guys think of this. Braun Strowman.
Again?
Yeah, again. Was he really necessary? I
didn't think he was necessary to bring back to begin with.
I didn't think so neither. And speaking of that, Sleaze, he got released the same way both times. Remember, the first time he got released, he was literally the world champion.
Yeah.
And then the second time he got released, he was literally getting pushed, like having these crazy matches with Bronson Reed. And then they drop him. It's like, you guys, I don't think they should have ever brought this guy back from the beginning, because it just seems like it's just strange. You're pushing the guy one moment, and then the next moment, in the middle of a push, no explanation, they drop the guy.
He's the backstage master, meaning like most of his allure to me is doing the falls count anywhere, those type of matches, which are actually really good. But other than that, you can't really have him near a ring. Once he goes in the ring and stuff, it's just okay. Omos is going to be the new giant, by the way. That's what I think is happening. They're like, okay, we've had enough of this Braun Strowman experiment. We know what you can do. And you know what? With a lot of these releases that I'm going to be speaking about, I'm pretty much on board with all of them. Those are the people you really needed to be letting go, because we've been talking about cutting the fat on this roster. So Braun Strowman,
you need to cut more.
That's a good one to cut off. I believe. Not like I want anybody to lose their jobs or anything. What do you think, Danny? You think I'm being too harsh on Braun Strowman?
No. It's an attraction. And it was the Big Show that sort of like really put Strowman over on Big Show's way out of WWE. It was the Hell in a Cell match, I think, where Strowman just threw the Big Show through it. And that to me was like the passing of the torch for like Vince at the time, his ideal big man. But yeah, like you said, there's other people that can carry that now. Strowman's pretty monotonal. He just does the same thing each time. Yeah. Again, nothing against him, because last time he got released, he came back, he lost a bit of weight, he trimmed down, but then you run the risk of, you're still really tall, but you're not got as much meat on you as you did before, and you're a lot thicker. So
they got Bronson Reed coming back too, and they got that guy Cobb that's supposed to be coming. They got a lot more talented big men than him.
Yeah, he's good. We don't hate him or anything like that, but he's not, for what the WWE's morphing into at this moment. There's a lot more coming. You all right over there, Reezy?
I'm good, man.
He's goofing. You all right? Got the Ebola? Is that because I'm a doctor, I can fix that.
Pills.
Real doctor, yep. Lots of pills.
I'll say this, man, that, I feel like, going back to Braun Strowman, I'm not saying the guy's not good, but I think he'll be fine. I mean, he's accomplished enough in WWE to where anybody would pick him up and he'd go there and do fine. So he has nothing to worry about.
He's one of the ones where I'm like, he could end up at AEW at some point. He could.
I bet Tony's got his checkbook out already, and he's already written most of the releasees' names, like in the name spots already, and he hasn't put an amount down yet. But yeah, Strowman could get picked up by AEW or just any indie, really, because like Sleaze just said, just the backstage stuff, and just any indie show, and just like, right, we need a Falls Count Anywhere, we need a Armageddon match, we need a Ring's gonna blow up match. Here's a big man. He doesn't need to learn anything. He doesn't need to bring anything new that people haven't seen. Just bring himself and just get knocked about a bit and throw the people about.
All right, here's a name for you. This is the latest release. This happened a few hours ago. Shotzi Blackheart. I still call her by her Christian name. That's her Christian name. Shotzi Blackheart. Gone. And I'll give you a quick take, and then you can roll with it or hate it or love it, everybody. But this Shotzi Blackheart, woo,
it's the shits.
The shits in the ring. Yep. She was bad, and she's always been that bad, then now forever bad. Like one of those. She's got girl legs, girl arms, whole girl body. And
an annoying personality. Just everything was crap.
WWE loved her look. Oh my God, tatted up and down everywhere. Got the big fake titties. They were like, "Ooh, green hair." Remember, they brought her on. They immediately got rid of Ruby Riott because she had the green hair. And you can't have, a couple wrestlers with the same hair unless they're blondes. And, the rest was history with that. But Shotzi was going to kill herself for somebody if she kept going. I feel bad again for anybody getting released and losing their job. This wasn't for her. Maybe keep her on board as some kind of brand ambassador or something like that. She clearly has the look. I get it. But again, it's another one where I'm like, what am I'm supposed to be mad about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Throwing the horns doesn't make you cool. I've been saying this since the fucking 90s. People do it, and it's just like a secret handshake, and it's just lame. It's overdone, and it once sort of like meant something. And she just comes in and she's like, "Woo, look at me, I'm metal. Woo, look at me, my stupid little tank." And it's like, piss off.
Now it means you're a dickbag. Whenever I see people do that, I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah, it's just like, it's really try hard in my opinion. Yeah, she kind of fit well with the hostess sort of thing with the Halloween Havoc, because it's just like, oh, look, you're a goth or you're a punk or a metalhead or however you want to frame her. But yeah, in the ring, she was never that great. Ruby Riott did disappear and she took over. And I think it's WWE. Ruby Riott is from America. They've got a lot of people from America. And Shitzy was from somewhere, where the hell was she from? Where they didn't have anybody else from there. So it was like, oh, the first time WWE superstar from, I think she was Filipino, I think. I might be wrong about that. But it was just, it screamed of that, oh my God, first time, yay! And they'd employ people and keep them on the books just so they could say that. To be like, look how many people we've got from different countries around the world. And sorry, but she was their representative. And there was more to her than that, but that's what got her in the door. That is what.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I remember Mac Diesel, our boy Sleaze. You know Mac Diesel out there, everybody.
Hell yeah.
Huge inverse megastar, but he was like
OG.
He wasn't goofing on her, but he was like, hey, she was freaking out one day because one of her cocks died. Chickens. And
one of her cocks.
And it just reminded me of the whole, Sal the stockbroker on Howard Stern back in the day when they put him under a spell, right? Hypnotized him and made him think that his private parts weren't there. And he's like, it looked like a Ken doll. And I totally believe that he was hypnotized because that was not a normal reaction of just somebody acting. And he jumped up in the air and he started screaming, my cock is gone. What did you do? Put it back. Put it back. And I was like, that must have been how Shotzi reacted. You see, folks, that was my thoughts when her cock died. My cock is gone.
I'm cockless.
So sorry to hear that you also, because again, if you've been released by the WWE and you're gone off my TV for any amount of time, you're pretty much dead. Rest in peace, everybody. But we got plenty more of these to talk about, so we'll save the Hugrums for now. Here's another name. Oro Mensah. Do you guys know him from NXT?
No.
He was a part of the Metaphor out there, kids. The faction that had Lash Legend and Noam Dar and Jakara, who was also released. The kids are very upset that Jakara has been released. They were pushing her a little bit with this Lash Legend, who of course is going to stay because she's a star. She's ex-WNBA player or something. And, she looks the part. She's got the size, all that stuff. But Jakara, I hear a lot of people saying she's AEW bound. I mean, who isn't? We might be AEW bound at some point, so.
Might be.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
None of these have made me go, oh, damn. What a talent they let go.
Me neither. Hey,
But if you go online, they're freaking out. Like, these people are freaking. And it happens every single year around this time. So I don't know if these people are just coming in like the last 6 months into wrestling and think they know everything, or I don't know what's going on, but it happens every single year. And every year it totally astonishes me that people are like, oh my God, they really fumbled. Like, fuck TKO, fuck Triple H.
Yeah, bring back Vince. That's what I've seen today. Bring back Vince.
Right, because he didn't do that too.
And then he just do it on a whim anyway.
Yeah, he do it like people's wedding days.
Mm-hmm. And this is why people should listen to like folks like us, older folks that are wise, not the older dumb folks. There's plenty of those. But the older wise folks, you recognize patterns after a while, right? And I've noticed too, like I haven't been focused on dirt sheets I remember talking about it in high school with buddies where like things you might have seen on the internet, but it was never like this big deal because we didn't have social media. Now I've noticed, I've been around long enough doing the Twitters and the IWC business in the show and talking to everybody. There's a new batch. That's what's happened. We've got a new batch of wrestling fans just in the past 10 years. I don't know when they showed up, but they gradually, Reezy's back. But gradually they've been showing back up. And that's why we're getting the same thing over and over and over. It's just getting more intense, right? And more dumbed down. Because of course we all know that this is, a scripted show and all this. So we've been saying it for years. But then you're coming across more and more of these younger marks, let's call them that, because they're so invested in their favorites that may be on like the low card of the show. And it's like, all right, that's cool that that's your favorite and everything. But now it's like they're taking on the identity more and more. The kids are. When it used to be they were more like fans. Now it's like, no, I am that. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is very deep. But all these kids out here, they are very invested in this, and I get why wrestling's on every single night now and everything, and you got the phones in your hands and everything. But It's
Yeah, it's
weird to me. It's Black Mirror.
It's yeah, and I would love to meet each and every one of these people just to see what they are in real life.
No,
because they're like 105-pound little chud fucking kids that just don't listen to their parents, and they're like, I fucking know everything, and they're pale because they haven't been outside, and they stink.
Stink and
you'd
pale.
change your mind about that decision. You'd change your mind very quickly, I think. You'd meet a couple and be like, yeah, I've done now. I don't need to see this anymore. I think it's
I just want to solidify my vision. Yeah, I think it is.
Reezy, Oro Mensa, gone. You know who he is, right?
Oh.
Jakara, gone too.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's very upset.
I find it strange that they released Jakara because they just sent Jakara and her tag team partner down to TNA to promote NXT.
Gross. How dare
Let's read the chat for a moment, and then we'll get into more of these releases. And I'm gonna be so outraged on some of these. Stay tuned, folks. Yeah, like liking and sharing and retweeting and all that stuff. Come over to YouTube, please. Thank you. Dr. Huge Show. I watched CMML versus MLW show last night. The time then watches SmackDown this morning. I'm always listening. Huge Show and Sleaze and Danny. Thank you. Shout out to you, Chris. Always.
He's been with us since 2017. So
day one was ish. Here, you get a special yeet. We got a few other special yeeters around here. So he knows what's up. See, Christopher Killer Cross 303. I just renamed that. And of course, Paladin out here. We're getting a new batch together. More fake outrage. People don't care about these people until they get released. That's right. Get the tables.
Exactly. And that's what annoys the shit out of me, too. You never see anybody talking about them up until they get released.
Another fine broadcast.
I think with the intensity issue, sorry, I lost signal then. I think I'm back. Am I back? Yeah. Before you'd go to school, when we were younger, we'd go to school, we'd say what we saw on Raw or on SmackDown or whichever, or the pay-per-views. And you'd have your favourites, and you'd say, oh, I like this guy or I like this girl. Other people would have like maybe a similar sort of opinion on it, but they wouldn't be as full on with it. And it was a bit more balanced. Whereas you go on the internet and it's like, I like wrestler X. And then all of a sudden it's like, here's the fandom. Here's every absolute hardcore fan of this wrestler that you also like. Here's 50 people all pretending to be that person online with their little avatar and that. And you just, I think that's why people just get so invested, like to sort of like an obsessive degree. And it's not casual's the wrong word, but it's just, I don't know, balanced, I think. You wouldn't sort of like be obsessed yourself, whereas now wrestling, there's so much of it and you just forget what happened last night and there's another thing coming on tonight and it's just so fast and forgotten quickly and people just throw themselves into it and they live online. I think that's one of the big contributors to why people just are quite rabid with it.
Well, like Get the Table said, it's fake outrage. It's really stupid. And every single year I chuckle at it. I really do, because I'm like, you guys didn't give a fuck until
They're amping
now.
it up too. It's all the fake outrage. It's just like, look at me. I don't like this. The roast last week. I mean, all leading up to that, like all little bits are coming out. It's like so racist and homophobic, and that's what a roast is. Everybody, like, come on, kids. Like, what are you doing? And I told it is. It's totally the phones. The phones have just screwed everybody's heads up. Yeah. Everything's
kids.
Engagement bait now. Like I'm telling you, the phones are watching us. It sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, the phones are watching us and they're seeing from, I don't know, our faces, our eyes or something. They know what we don't like. They know what we like. And then they just hammer us with shit that we don't like. Because I'm not looking out. I've been noticing on X lately, I'm not looking for certain things that are popping up on my news feed all the time. And it's like, how is this possible? It's because they know that I don't like it, and they want to. It's like they're trying to get a reaction out of me to like talk about or get involved in the comments or something. And I think Danny's Wi-Fi and things have just gone kaput.
But yeah, it's true. It's like the me culture now. It's everything is look at me. What kind of reaction can I get? The more negative stuff I say is going to get me more likes and more reposts and all this other crap. So people sit behind their computers and phones and they think that way. And it's sad because it's not about you. You're not special. You know, like I said, you're a chud in your mom's basement and nobody likes you in real life. And that's usually the case. And they think they can go behind a screen and just say all this negative shit and go to bed at night and say, oh my God, I got so many reactions. It's gross. Get a life.
It's so bad how it's effective, though. You know what I mean? It works.
Yeah.
And it's obnoxious because that's how it works. Like, I'm getting trolled with LeBron James stuff all the time. Ever since I did a LeBron James show, I've been getting trolled online with LeBron James stuff. Not from people, from like AI. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. I'm living in a Black Mirror episode where I know LeBron James isn't the best because I'm old enough, and now horrible. I'm just going to be like slammed with it. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying he's not the best, and people act like I'm crazy.
He's an asshole and he's a bitch. That's, you know, he's a pretty good basketball player. He's no MJ. He's no Kobe. He's no Magic Johnson. He's no Larry Bird. I can keep going.
You can just do this all day, right, Reezy? But tell the people, Reezy, your thoughts on all these releases, because you had a take.
I feel like, so I had a take. I'll start with this. I'll say same thing Sleaze says first. Nobody really tweeted or talked about these people before they got released. So don't show sympathy and start crying and bitching and harassing, you know, the WWE for releasing them. Now, I do agree that WWE is releasing all of these people, but they're keeping people under contract who are even who are worse performers, who don't do anything for the company. For instance, Nikita Lyons. Why is Nikita Lyons still under contract? How is Nikita Lyons still under contract?
She's going to LFG now. She got demoted from development.
She got demoted from developmental to developmental.
Yeah.
What is it that you're seeing in Nikita Lyons? And then there's the other girl.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was a real question.
Yeah. No, it can be a question. I'm just saying. How do you answer? How do you go from developmental to developmental?
She's a BBW ninja that does like cringe rap music, and the WWE doesn't recognize like talent like that. Like, they can have scouts and they can have their things and go, oh, we, you know, this is what we like, but they don't really understand what like the kids like. That's what they're doing, right? So when they start making all their hip hop music and stuff like this, notice nobody likes it, right?
Well, TKO, you're right, but TKO, I just tweeted not long ago that TKO does not care what the wrestling fans want. TKO cares about who's more popular and what they can make, what can benefit them to make more money. They don't,
and the trending,
the trending and stuff. So that's why they have ISO Speed and freaking KSI and all these people we don't really care about on their
and Nikita Lyons, because she's got the look. It's just an image. Everything's image based.
Yeah.
It's not talent based. It's image based.
Well, what people don't understand too, when they go online, they say, "Oh, they released all these people." Is, I've said it a billion times. This is a fucking business too. You know what I mean? If a business is, I'm not saying they're doing bad, but let's say Walmart. If they're doing bad, they're going to lay off people. You know what I mean? It's good for business. And with like Nikita, she might not have a contract that's up for another year. So like people were attacking her saying, oh, well, she should be gone. But legally, they probably can't get rid of her right now. You never know, because none of us know the business part of it.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, when her contract comes up, she should be gone, but you never know.
Can we hear you, Candy?
Also,
nope, the mic doesn't even work either. Jeez. Got blacked out. Maybe he was rated.
I want to throw in there that, you know, I do feel like with WWE's loaded roster, they need to do probably some more cuts. We need cuts on this roster. It's loaded.
A lot.
You got they got so many people on their roster. There is people on their roster I have to look at and say, oh my gosh, they still work there.
Well,
Apollo
here's some more.
Crews.
Here's another name because we still have a long list, and I got a ton more notes. But here's Katana and Chance
Yes.
tag team.
Good tag team, but WWE, these women's tag team titles means nothing. It's they just need to get rid of them, defunk them. I think the Katana and Chance, I can't remember their names. I think they're a good tag team that'll probably benefit well in the Indies or TNA. I mean, AEW does not have tag team titles for the women right now, so I don't see how that would work for them unless they split up. But I have no idea. I just think that them getting released doesn't surprise me. They were rarely on TV. What have they done? WWE brought these girls up from NXT and did nothing with them.
They're perfect for TNA. Perfect.
They'll be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be perfect for TNA.
Yeah, and you mentioned TNA too. This could be something where they're releasing people knowing that they'll go to TNA and maybe build themselves up and all this stuff, because people forget too. They let go of Drew McIntyre. He's a prime example. Cody Rhodes is another one. They went out to the Indies. They built their characters up, got popular, and came back and were 10 times better.
Exactly.
So this isn't a negative at all.
And I want to backpedal on that. I want to comment on that. You have a great point because my guy, Chris, shout out to him. He tweeted this, and I totally agree. I said before, WWE.
Go ahead.
Yeah, WWE runs after stars when they make a name for themselves somewhere else. So when they release people and they make a name for them somewhere else, WWE comes running. And it's basically because, and I've always felt this, WWE does not like people to make a name outside of their company. If you make a name outside of their company, they're going to pay you what you want or whatever you need, and they're going to bring you back in. Yes. And the reason that is, and I'll say this, if you look at the history of WWE, they are unable, majority of the time, they're unable to make stars on their own. It's always been like that. Most people have came from somewhere else.
Uh-oh, your hand's on the mic again.
All right.
Ah, jeez.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Yes, everybody, most people have made a name for themselves somewhere else outside of WWE. Most of their legends. It's just a fact.
All right. Here's another name for you. Eddie Thorpe, who I knew should have been gone. Oh, I knew he wasn't long for this WWE world. And it's just because he's maybe a fine gentleman and all this. He's okay in the ring, but overall, he's cringe. He's cringe as a good guy. He's cringe as a bad guy. That means you're not good for this business. So see you later.
What would have helped Eddie Thorpe? I totally agree. But you know what would have helped Eddie Thorpe?
Not being Native American, really crazy. Like
after that storyline where Ava, The Rock's daughter, got hurt, and The Rock came up there and did nothing. What should have happened was The Rock should have showed up.
He was drunk.
The Rock should have showed up and beat the crap out of Eddie Thorpe like he did Cody Rhodes.
Oh no!
And I mean, beat the living crap out of him.
Hey Reezy, you want to do me a quick favor and pop out and pop back in?
Yeah, I can do that.
Because it's doing that fuzz thing. Thank you.
We need a GoFundMe for Reezy. Get us some equipment.
Hey, listen, this is the greatest show in the world, Sleaze. I don't know what you're talking about. Greatest. I mean, technical difficulties. Who doesn't deal with those? I'm sure this happens to Jimmy Fallon and, all the big time shows out there.
Right.
All the time.
Wouldn't be us without it.
Oh, well, yeah, Eddie Thorpe, I'm sorry you're cringe. That's why you got released. And let's get ready for some more names. Now that Reezy is back, here's another one for you. Cora Jade. That was this morning pretty much for me.
Doesn't surprise me. Injury prone. She's good, but I mean, once she got injured that first time, you know how WWE are. they kind of take your push away. And she kept getting injured, so I just think they kind of gave up on her.
Yeah, plus she's got the girl legs, the girl arms, like
She'll
Shotzi.
thrive in the Indies. She'll thrive in the Indies for TNA. But she's just too injury prone. I just think WWE is too much for her.
I'm not even trying to be funny about it, folks. It's the truth. If you see somebody that looks like a 14-year-old girl running around out there, it doesn't matter if they have big effing titties. Okay, it doesn't matter because you still look. You need the legs and the arms to do things. If you got childbearing hips, that's going to hurt your. Look at Charlotte. That's why she's so good at it.
Yeah, right. She got guy hips,
just straight down.
Scary guy hips, and a penis.
Wow.
I've heard. Supposedly.
Wow. I like her even more then.
Yeah. She does a good tuck job.
Yeah. Danny just took himself off the podcast.
Yeah, he fell off his chair in laughter.
I don't know.
I'm just restraining myself, I think. I started
Is that what you call it? Is that what you know?
Yeah. Well, you said guy legs, and I just started going and face and shoulders and hands and
yeah.
Sorry.
And penis.
Here's another one that just got this fits in with this group, and I actually like this one the most out of Shotzi and Cora. Dakota Kai. She could actually go in the ring, but she's got girl legs and arms and
injury prone again.
Science.
Not the greatest on the mic. You know, I've never been a fan of hers, really. She's let's say a C+. You know what I mean? Like nothing was going to propel her. I think she's a good indie wrestler.
I agree.
My thing with Dakota Kai was that she was, when they did the damage control thing, she kind of was doing.
She was the weak link.
She was the weak link out of the three, out of Asuka and Io. Yeah, out of the girls. And I think WWE kind of at first wanted to push her, but then again, when she got injured, they kind of backed away. I don't think she became what WWE wanted her to become. And I'm not saying Dakota Kai didn't work hard and she's not any good. I think she's pretty good, but I just don't think WWE was the fit for her. I think she can go somewhere else and probably do something, but just not in WWE because they just weren't interested. And I've seen that from the beginning, just by the way they were pushing her. Because if they were interested, they would have put that belt on her, that IC title.
Hey, I look at Roxanne. She's small. She's got thick legs. She's got thick arms.
I see Roxanne.
I'm telling you, this is
science.
You got to be a tough bitch. You can't be looking like you just came out of high school, that just some girl, a cheerleader, and nothing. Like, you're not going to last long because you're going to get beat up. You need the Bailey butt. You need something going on. This is why I don't like the man so much, believe it or not, everybody. I don't know. She still gets injured, right? But
Becky Hogan?
Becky Hogan walked out there like this and was like, oh, I'm going to kick everybody's ass. And they were like, oh, no, Becky's here. And it's like, why? She runs like a toddler. She runs like a little kid. When she's not athletic, it's not scary. It's because
she's like 95 pounds. I don't see it. I never did.
Yeah, that type of thing doesn't work with me. I'm a grown ass man. Give me Zoe Stark instead. Like, I can actually believe she's going to beat somebody up, which she did. She's the one that knocked out Dakota Kai recently, which gave her one of her other injuries. So yeah. Stop it, guys. And good. It looks like you are stopping it. You're getting rid of all the little girls.
Well, fact of the matter is that the women division, just overall, NXT, WWE, it's very deep at this point. Like, I think this is as deep as I've seen it ever. So it's like that's where they trimmed a lot of the fat, is getting rid of those, that people might have thought were good, that, we might have thought were good, but it's so deep and they have so many girls now. You got to cut it down. There's a lot better talent that's still sticking around than the people they got rid of.
And here's another. I still consider her a little girl, even though she's all beefy and everything, right? This Gigi Dolan. We love you. Hey, wake up, Reezy.
I'm good.
Can't be looking
Jesus.
like this on the show.
I'm not
It makes
sleep.
everybody really, really tired.
Got to look sexy and
Be
smart.
professional. Thank you.
Jesus.
Pull your pants up.
Well,
Maybe
oh,
not
well,
like Gigi
you know.
Dolan, though. Pulls them up a little high. But Gigi, she had to go because she sucked in the ring, too. And I watched enough of it. I seen her out there. She had the Mandy Rose crew. She had another crew. She got kicked out of it. She joined up with Tatum Paxley and Shotzi, who just got released. But yeah, she's not very good in the ring. She stinks.
It's the shits.
You're like Gigi.
Sorry, Priscilla Kelly, as I know her. You know, taste the tuna and all this. But God,
Well, she's definitely going to TNA because that's where her hubby works.
Oh God.
Yeah, she's another
She is-
TNA.
She is the one that did the spot with the tampon
Yeah.
before going to NXT.
Taste the tuna.
I think I just took that out of here recently too. Man, what a bad time for that. She screams it nice, loud, and proud at an Indian.
I mean, I'm gonna say honest. I liked Gigi, but I felt like Gigi did not. I'm not gonna say she didn't bring, because she didn't. I'm not saying she herself didn't bring anything or enough to the table, but it just felt like she did not fit. She was like with the group of people, she was with the company, but she just didn't fit in, if that makes sense. She just didn't fit in. And I just think WWE, think WWE is just uninterested. They were just uninterested. They weren't going to push her. Yeah, they were going to push her.
Again, you got to look more like Charlotte. This is why I'm still waiting on, what's her name? I always forget her name, though. And she's like my favorite. The business chick from NXT, Reezy. Mixed girl. The carries around the purse. And, what's her name? She's stupid hot. Come on, Reezy. I know you.
Oh, you're talking about
something. Kiana James.
Kiana James.
Yes. Wait until everybody sees Kiana James. That will be a lot of people's new favorite. I don't know where she's been, why they keep keeping her hidden. She's way better than everybody on this list. In the ring and outside the ring. So coming soon. Remember, Dr. Huge said that, everybody, because it will be a sight to behold. Yeah. How about this group? The whole of Gallus, Wolfgang and the Coffee Brothers gone.
Coffee Brothers.
Yeah.
They like coffee.
They came back, I think one or two of them were injured, and they came back and they put them on TV once or twice, and then that was it. So, I mean, it's just another team. They actually had the tag titles on NXT for a while. They were like one of the top things going there over the past few years before whatever happened. And then Shayna Baszler, of course. Look, when I seen her dressing up like Dominic Toretto from Fast and Furious, that's when I knew she was like trying, Yeah. And I was like, this isn't good. That means she's one step of getting out of here.
Yeah, I felt like Shayna, I'm surprised she's just now getting released. And I'm not saying that because I don't think she's good. I think Shayna was very good. But understand that WWE, and I always felt this, WWE didn't push her because she wasn't a pretty face.
She wasn't Ronda Rousey.
Right. She wasn't a pretty face. Ronda Rousey was hot and she can kick your ass. Shayna Baszler isn't hot, but she can kick your ass. So WWE looks at that and is like, if we go to do commercials and sell things, and this is wrong. I don't agree with this, but WWE's eyes looking like we want to sell things. We don't want to put your face on the cover of that. We can't promote you because you're not a hot person. And that's just how WWE thinks. Now, Shayna can go anywhere else and I think it'd be a star. But
Stop
WWE.
rubbing that mic.
All right, can you hear me better?
Yep.
Stop
Shayna can
clapping
go
that dick
anywhere
around
else.
and hitting your phone.
Shayna can go anywhere else and be a star. I think TNA would be perfect for her.
I disagree. I don't think she'll be a star. I
You
think
don't
she's
think-
an MMA person that can wrestle. She's not good looking. She has no personality. There's no it figure with her. I don't know. I think she's a she's a
seem to
bad
like
version
her.
of an attraction. I don't know.
The kids seem to like her Twitch, so maybe she's got personality on there.
I think she games on Twitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's gonna make
I
you
never
money.
seen one though. Danny,
Go
you
back
have-
to fighting.
Before the internet kicks me off, I don't know if you can.
Yep.
I can't see me, but yeah, I like Shayna. I think it's a shame that they've not really used her. Ronda Rousey gave her a rub on the way out, but that program was rushed. That was sort of like Rousey trying to hand the torch over to Baszler, but Baszler just got the death as soon as she came onto the main roster, and she was biting Becky's neck and pretending to be a vampire or whatever that shit was. And yeah, I'm surprised she's lasted this long, but it's a shame because there's a lot of potential there. When she was in NXT, she was just like a murderer. One of the things I continuously grumble about with the women wrestlers is just like the body language, and they don't look like they're in a fight. They look like they're about to do a dance routine. Whereas Baszler, you can tell she's scrapped with people before. Her body language, her hands and feet, and just the way where she's looking at people, you can tell she's ready for a fight. A lot of lasses, you see them looking at each other's feet because they're waiting to see the foot placement of the next move and things like that. You didn't get that with Shayna, and yeah, it's a shame. TNA might be something good for her, but yeah, she needs a decent dance partner to show off that sort of like MMA style fighting. When you've then got people doing cartwheels and backflips and they're getting the best of her, it makes her look silly, and it makes legit shoot fighting look a bit weak in comparison. But yeah, that's a shame. That's the shame is like the biggest sort of like bit of disappointment that I had seeing that. But if she gets to go somewhere else and figures out what's missing, they might bring her back. They might push her as a big star.
Yeah, because
I think her and Masha
she's so different than everybody else too. You know,
Yeah.
that's the whole point. Is you want kind of like you want to hit everything. She was the tomboy in the crew.
Yeah.
So, there's only one more person left on my list. If I forgot anybody,
For now.
yeah, for now. Riley Osborne, which I'm sure a lot of you don't know, but he was in Chase U for a while. He was on TV a lot for Chase U, and he's gone. So, but Chase U's back somehow. Yeah, there's been a lot of changes at NXT this past week, and they had Chase U coming back, the breakup of Metaphor, and also the Catch Crew is being shaken up, which was actually originally started by what the hell was his name? The guy that the fuck was his name? I can picture him too so vividly. But he used to he had a thing with Enzo. He was in 205 Live. He was in the crew.
TJP.
Huh?
TJP.
No, the most boring guy out of the bunch, but actually good on the mic.
Oh, Gentleman Jack.
No, he started this
No.
Catch Crew in NXT, but then remember there was a thing with Ronda Rousey where she's like he grabbed my
Drew
crotch.
Gulak. Drew Gulak.
Drew Gulak.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Yeah, I remember him.
So he started this group, but this group has been taken over by why am I so stupid today? By Regal's son, real son in real life, the one with the white man afro. And yeah, things are just changing, is what I'm trying to say. Get liking and subscribing. Come on.
Damn it.
See all this hard work, all this heavy lifting I'm doing, trying
God
to use
help.
this brain.
Fuck.
I hope everybody appreciates it and hits the like button on YouTube. It's cool that you share it on Twitter, which most of you guys on Twitter, you guys are fucking lazy. Sorry, you're lazy as hell. You don't even press a button. You're already watching it on here. It's on the screen you're looking at right now. I don't know what to do with these people.
Chris in the chat mentioned DJ Storms, my old buddy.
Oh, remember him? Yes.
Oh, wait, is that guy?
He must be a grown up by now, right?
Yeah, he seems like he matured a little bit. I follow him on Twitter. He still follows me back.
I didn't know he was still on.
But he's still a shill for like the worst wrestling, which is AEW.
He's fucking weird, dude.
That dude was super weird.
Yeah.
He's like living the gimmick. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
Like, okay.
He got into it with some podcast some years back. I remember. Not us. Yeah, I remember he got into it with us. But I mean, he got into it with another podcast some years ago.
My first whack packer.
I had to diss him on wax one time. Remember that, Reezy?
I remember that. I remember you guys were going at it.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
Couldn't touch me.
He's fighting with children online. But it was all in good fun. We actually would stick up for him too, because he had that one referee going at him and we were like, what are you doing? Like we goof on him because he goofs on us, but like
let's see what that guy's up to. You gotta see what that guy's up to, man.
No, in all honesty, besides his fucking, his shit he puts out, he's not a bad kid.
I just never liked his. I always just thought he was just too loud.
God.
He would create a Twitter like over and over and over because he gets suspended or kicked off or whatever, and then every time he'd come back, and the first person he'd block was me, and I'm like, I don't need to do anything to you. I let you come on my show, and I just let you speak, and it's my fault. Got it. Got it. But it was good times.
They stole my gimmick with the sunglasses and shit. Yeah.
Everybody did online. I don't know if you noticed, but fucking 99% of the internet wears sunglasses. Sorry, Danny. But
Danny's the only one I allow. He gets a pass. Everybody else, go fuck yourself.
He's got the sunglasses pass, like the hood pass.
Yes. We're part of a gang now, me and Danny.
Yep.
I have a 10-week-old. You don't need to see how tired I am.
I'm old. You don't have to see how tired I am.
Yeah.
Well,
Reezy doesn't give a shit. He'll just yawn right on the screen. He'll do one of these.
That's funny.
We love you, Reezy.
We do. We goof on you because we like you.
Yeah.
Nah, this is a dope show. I've always loved you guys.
The dopest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the dopest show, man.
Dopiest.
But I'll say this, man. A lot of people, and I keep saying it, a lot of podcasts aren't real podcasts.
No. They're dog shit.
I've been trying to tune into some recently. I've been going.
There's some good ones.
I'm trying to promote. If there are, send them to me. Are you wearing an upside down cross?
Oh my God! He's part of them.
Whoa, he's Satan, guys.
Holy shit! I didn't know we were a part of that.
What is going on, Reezy? Are you Satan?
Satan.
You
oh my God!
I'm waiting for the background to drop and it just be like Satanist church behind him. Yeah, it looks like Kane's intro.
What is going on today?
Oh my God! What are we doing?
I thought it looked cool, so I got it.
It looked cool.
Great.
I'm not a religious guy, but this
bringing the black arts to the
bringing the black arts to the pie.
I'm gonna guess. Did you get that at the Fly God show?
No, but I did get it in Vegas at a shop that showed all like horror stuff. I went to Zach what's his name? Zach Hogan.
Yeah.
Hogan.
I thought you were gonna say you went to like the Satanic Church of Vegas or something.
Right. So there's a
horror thing. Okay, I got it.
There's a paranormal expert. I forget his name. Zach Bogan or whatever his name is. He has a big museum in Vegas I went to. And they sell a lot of they do a lot of paranormal stuff, and I brought this from there.
You know you're gonna have demons in your house now.
Oh, I have to bring them on the Doc Show, man.
Are you gonna try to convert us?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to bring some ghosts and demons and monsters on the show.
Are you gonna sacrifice chickens soon?
Oh
on the show?
I'll do it on the show. Sacrifice.
Oh, that's godly to some people, Sleaze.
That's what that noise is. Fucking chickens running around his fucking house that he hasn't killed yet. To the Dark Lord.
Voodoo. Don't make a voodoo doll of me.
Don't
do it. Don't do that.
Jesus. If you do that, like of me, just stick the pins in my back so I feel better.
Who knew you were Papa Shango?
Papa Shango.
Reezy.
Next week, we expect a boa around your fucking neck.
A
Constrictor.
Mm-hmm. Top hat.
Yes.
Paint your
Lot of
face,
smoke.
maybe.
Smoke and mirrors and
All right. Anyway,
what the fuck?
I mean, we're keeping an eye on you now, Reezy.
Yeah,
For sure.
but I gotta get ready for work.
The power of Christ compels you.
Power of Christ that compels you.
I was hoping he was going to freak out or something. Like,
We're gonna need an old priest and a young priest.
Doc is trying to vanish me. Get rid of me.
Tried.
It's gonna start throwing up
Not
pea
really
soup.
there. Yep. He's trying to fool us, Sleaze. There's no demons there.
God.
But I love you guys though, man.
Good.
Appreciate it.
I thought you guys didn't like love. You love hate.
I love you.
That's what Marilyn Manson told me in the 90s.
Oh yeah, hate everybody.
This is Sasha Banks at the Church of Satan talking to Antoine LaVey.
Look, you know I hate talking about my feelings, but you always do, okay? I love that you're a good person. I love that you're everybody. I love that you want to be friends with everybody. I love that little girls look up to you. I love that you're always there for me when I don't even ask you to be. You always can tell when something's wrong. So I just don't understand why you don't get it.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
She's trying so hard out here to eat babies with John Cena and stuff. And
Yeah. John Cena is definitely eating babies.
Reezy, have you tasted baby now?
I have not, but I'm supposed to have some at John Cena's house for dinner.
John Cena recognized.
Wow.
I've been invited.
Shit.
John Cena and the Elite.
In the club, guys. Now we don't have to actually do that. Reezy's going to be our, ambassador to the Illuminati.
Gonna have baby a la carte.
I'm gonna get the Dr. Huge Universe a part of TKO.
Jesus, I didn't know I'd have to sacrifice my soul, Doc.
Yeah, someday. I mean, if you want to get anywhere in this world, you got to eat babies. You got to oh no, random family members got hit by cars, and all of a sudden I'm super famous. Just
be
a coincidence every single time.
It's gonna be awkward for Danny because he just had a baby.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
don't bring him around John Cena when we start getting really famous.
Or Reezy at this point.
Good. All right. We got SmackDown to talk about now that we're out of this, the paranormal world. Sometimes we go in there, we fall into these vortexes of horror, and it's all because look what he's doing off screen. He's fixing the doll right now for me, and he's about to stick me.
He's got a red shirt.
All right, I'll stop talking about it.
Jesus.
All right, next. Nia Jax is back, everybody. Remember her? Hold on, let me put up the Nia Jax screen.
Oh.
You know what I'm going to put up.
Oh, yeah.
There she is.
There she is.
It's probably too small for everybody. Let's just show it real big.
Oh.
Yep, that's the Punisher sign on the gun.
Yep.
Raquel Rodriguez, whatever she calls herself. And she's now beefing with Tiffany Stratton. She came back last week, beat her up at the end of the show. She came out, told her she was this and that this week. Tiffany came out after that. Then, surprisingly, Naomi came out, which I actually like this because, me and trying to get more people than two involved in the main title. I mean, the Women's Championship is one of the main titles, so Naomi came out. She wants to get at the main title. She held it up at the end of the night. Jade came out after Naomi. Ended up in a tag match as the main event of SmackDown, which was a very boring SmackDown, by the way, last night. Mediocre at best. And, I don't even know who won. I think Naomi and Nia must have won. They were holding up the belts at the end. And does anybody really care about this? Stop moving, Reezy! May the power
stop chasing those
May
chickens.
The power of Christ compel you. Anybody have any takes on Nia Jax being back? Is it I like it. She was actually going somewhere. I don't know why they took her off of TV, but now that Tiffy has the title, you still have that storyline that they're going off of there. So that makes sense. They're putting more people into it like Naomi and Jade, but I still don't think Jade is worthy to go after the main title. But if she isn't by now, it's like you got to force her in there because I don't know what her contract's like or anything, but do something with this chick because the mid-card Naomi type beefs, it ain't working. No takes on this. Nobody cares. And okay, I'll move on because I don't care either, really.
I mean, I just honestly think this whole Nia Jax thing is off and on. I like Nia Jax, but it's like, what are we gonna do storyline wise with her? What are we gonna do storyline wise with her? Because it seems like they'll have her in something and then they'll kill it.
She was a champ recently for a while.
She was a champ. I liked her as champ, but then again, she wasn't really, other than the Tiffy thing. I mean, I don't really remember her doing too much as champion.
She should bonsai drop these ladies normally. She's pulling back on these. It looks so ridiculous. She did it last night. She went to jump off and do her bonsai on the Tiffany, and she hit the ground and then sat on her.
I would like to see
that works.
What I would do is I would have Nia Jax come out and just randomly beat women up and bonsai drop them and just leave.
Yes.
And if you want to, and if you don't want to make your top talent look weak, you guys got probably about 50 girls in the back that you're not using. Just have them come out for a few minutes for a match, and have her just come out, beat up everybody in the ring, and just bonsai drop people. That's all we need to see her do.
I think they bring back everyone they just cut, put them in the ring, and then Nia comes out and beats the bag out of every single one of them. Just an idea.
Work.
All right, guys.
Didn't hear.
I gotta go.
All right, man. Take it easy. Have a good day.
Take it easy, man.
Thanks for the hot takes. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. Hail Satan. We're right. This is what we do. Yeah, but we got to do the horns, right?
I'll call you in the morning about fixing my computer, since you're the technical god.
Everybody's going to clip this and send this, and when I run for president in a few years, then you're going to be like, you can't because you said Hail Satan online.
Now, we understand you were going to do that anyway, but you're not meant to say it out loud.
Right.
So people would expect that of you.
Right.
Nia. Yeah. Nia's decent character. She's different. She stands out. She's got a bit better in the last couple of years. She was a bit sloppy to begin with. But what I think is good about her is she doesn't try and do things that she shouldn't be doing. Whereas you see someone of her size or the male version on WWE, to be fair, some people just try and do too much. But then on AEW, you get the big guys doing all the little guy stuff, and the little guys can do all the big guy stuff. And it's like, you've not got your own sort of like thing now, because everyone just mushes together in a way. Whereas Nia just takes her time. She'll just drop an arm, drop an elbow, drop a leg, and she'll just waddle around. And she is her own person. And her attitude and her behavior towards the audience has got a bit sharper in the last couple of years as well, because she was just a bit she has that Vicky Guerrero sort of nasal tone, which was like, it's good for heat, but if you need to listen to what she's got to say and you tune out, you don't hear it. But I think they got rid of her recently just because Tiffany took the belt off her, and then that was just before Mania. So Charlotte came to get like the spotlight and the wrestling celebrity status on the WrestleMania match, and now Nia's come back for a belt, which gives Tiffany a chance to work from underneath, I suppose.
Those are the two that need to team up, I've always felt, is Nia and Charlotte. I don't think they ever really have. And I believe it's because they're just too big of personalities backstage. I don't know this. I'm just speculating.
I can say that.
Well, you got Charlotte doing her Charlotte stuff, and then Nia getting sandwiches and drinks from girls.
I want to fetch me this and fetch me that, and then Charlotte's over there, and you do this and you do that, and then they look at each other like, you're using my slaves.
Yeah, I can see. I won't name which one's which, but I can see one being like, "Don't you know who my dad is?" and the other one being like, "Don't you know who my cousin is?" And then just like, do my bidding, and it's just clashing.
But if they took that and made that a gimmick, it'd be fantastic. If they both just came out as Nepo kids and they just said, "Listen, we're entitled to everything," that would be great. I wish that Charlotte would do more of the Nepo stuff in the ring instead of outside of the ring.
Yeah, it'd make way more sense. You know, instead of her just trying to be cool and a boss bitch and all this.
Right. I missed you guys. We didn't need that. Be like, you guys are pieces of shit. This was nothing without me. I'm Charlotte fucking Flair. Like, that's the way it should be.
Then we got this Keanu Carter. I just learned about this guy today because he's apparently on NXT. I don't think he's been on TV yet. Maybe he has. But he wrote a tweet recently, a few tweets. And I don't know, something must have happened. He just started popping off online, and he wrote, this is like reading hieroglyphics these days. I'm sorry, but some of you guys out here, you write in street slang, and it looks retarded. Okay?
Yep, that was harsher than I was going to say. I was going to say, you look stupid. You're trying to look cool. You're trying to look edgy or hip or whatever, but instead it's mush. It's bollocks. And you can't make out one.
I had to read it 3 times.
I might have a problem with this. If I do, that's the reason why. Because, like I said, it's like reading hieroglyphs. These MFs, motherfuckers, ain't no T on the ain't. It's ain't now. Okay, I didn't know that. These motherfuckers ain't for TS is the shit. I don't know, for TS. They dick eating these Samoans.
They
ready. I don't know. I had to listen to you motherfuckers think they like that who be voting for Trump and ain't really like that. So Trump,
I get it.
Okay. You know, I understand. Listen, I like I said, Sleaze, I've seen a change go on in the past 10 years. And we started the show in 2016, and that's the first year Trump was in office. And it wasn't as bad. That's when the propaganda machine started getting going, is like, hate this person, hate this person, hate this person, like every day, you know, all day, every day. And now we're starting to see the fruits of that play out with young people. They have no idea what's going on. Listen, I didn't know what was going on in my 20s in politics.
No.
You think I'm going to pop off if there was it was a social media back. I wasn't going to be like, and Al Gore and this and that and blah, blah, blah. That's, you know, how ridiculous that sounds. So now all the kids and even young wrestlers and what have you, I don't know how old this guy is, but to break everything down into Trump, not Trump, is so basic, bitch. It is so like below surface level. It's this dumb. Like, what are we doing? And we're all gonna just assume full labels on people based on opinions. Crazy.
It's you know why they do it? Because it's easy.
Yep.
That's what it is. Well, everything's Trump's fault. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have a cabinet and Congress and the House of Representatives.
And you know, by just even having this little segment and talking about this, that to many people, that automatically means that I love Trump. And that's insane too. That's
because that's easy to say, is that you like Trump. That's why.
But people have too many opinions.
Curse of the internet now. It sort of creates this sort of like faux borderline mentality where everything's either hot or cold, yes or no, black or white. There's no nuance, there's no grey area. Everything's rounded up or rounded down because we've just been spoiled with like one click for Amazon and things get here the next day. Or we need to know a bit of information and it's there instantly. We want to hear a new song. We don't have to go down to the shop and buy it. We can just download it. And if you don't get your thing straight away, if you don't get your new toy straight away, you just have a fucking meltdown. And we've just lost that grey area. So just, like you say, just mentioning Trump, whether it's for or against, it says so much about that person and they can get in with a certain group. But it's a signal. People know whether or not to like him. And just from you reading that, I still don't know really if he's pro or anti-Trump. I think he's anti, is he?
He's talking about these Samoan dudes being like street-like and acting street, but then, you know, going to be Trump guys, which, yes, there's plenty of those. There's plenty of people that think for themselves of all kinds. They may be white racist. They may be black racist. When it comes to voting, a lot of the times when you're an adult, it comes down to your bottom line. Who's going to help me make money? That's it. So all this like fighting about this color, that, sex, that, right? Like it's if you're doing that and you're really getting in there and you're not helping and you're hurting, that's like you're a waste. It's such a waste. It's just silliness. And like I said, for everything to be broken down, even in wrestling, a guy's gonna pop off and then have to wipe his ex and everything because oh no, I said I talked bad about the Samoan crew and that they're all for Trump and Roman Reigns. Apparently, all the kids were in an uproar because they voted for Trump. Guess what? Most of the country did too, dumb fucks.
Yeah, that's why he's president.
I think every group he's got increases from every group this time. So whatever color or shade or height or weight or sexuality, I think everybody just liked him a little bit more.
And
some more than others, but
just saying this doesn't mean I like him. It's a fact. It's a fucking fact of life. Deal with it, everybody. Sunglasses. Deal with it.
But if you don't give a complete no to some people, they hear yes. Or if you don't give you don't give them a yes fast enough and hard enough, they just hear no because, like I said, they're so used to just everything instantly, so much instant gratification, and just they can't handle that. Oh God, they might not have given me 100% yes, so that must be a no.
The good thing, going back to what Danny was saying, with everything being so accessible and things like that, the good thing is like before I used to have to like ask a friend like, hey, can you get me a porn VHS? And now I can just go on my phone and I can just now I can just pull up Pornhub and just and if I don't get my porn quick enough,
to be fair, on the topic, I think we could have stopped making that in like 2005 and we'd still have enough on the internet for everybody to still be enjoying. It is something I think we have done a little bit. Yeah,
I like 1975.
Well, then you'd still have a bit of choice, but yeah, we didn't need to make any more in the last however many. It's got a bit too much at the minute, I think. But
it's that's turning into influencer stuff and everything. Like I said, the whole world is it's really getting dark fast. No pun intended.
Oh,
see what I did there? See, that's called funny racial humor, kids. It's not funny, it's bad, but that was funny. And if you don't think it was funny,
you're the problem.
Put these guys down there.
Just to take your ID politics comment and pin it to the previous topic with the releases, I did see some people being like, oh, these people have been released because of either skin color, sexuality, sex. And it's like, you'd have found something to grumble about that, and you'd have just attached that anyway, just so you've got some grievance to piss and moan about on Twitter. And I know I like to piss and moan on Twitter, but yeah,
they won't hire me at WWE because I'm black, and they won't hire Sleaze. He wears sunglasses. And I'm sure the same goes for you now, Danny, too, now that they've seen you.
They've already got...
Well, you're a dad?
They've already got English people as well, so it's like, oh, no, we've ticked that box already. Sorry. You're not from somewhere a bit more exotic.
Yeah, the English people...
We got Joe Hendry. Yeah. We don't need Danny Damage.
The English people have to give money, not make money off of. Okay? Calm down with that, everybody. Again, liking and subscribing and sharing, by the way. Got to keep pointing in and out. Go to the store, buy some shirts. I've been trying to put some new merch up, but you know what? It's not working out right now. But maybe soon, someday, you'll start to see some other things. Because, it was pointed out to me, like there have been females that are like, I would like to buy a shirt, but I don't want to buy a shirt with a hot dog on it. So,
why not? Fucking prudes.
Someone like, I get enough attention as it is. Do I really need to have a hot dog on my boobies? It's kind of like asking for it. I said that makes sense, so I'm just gonna make some up in text, and we'll figure it out and get it on there.
You should do is adjust the hot dog for the girls one, so it goes right between the tits.
That's the one.
Right. I'm sure those will fly off the shelves.
Right. You're welcome.
Great ideas. So. There's been a ton of injuries just in all of wrestling. Of course, Mysterio, he's got a torn abductor. He had to have surgery on that. That happened the night before Mania. They thought it was a good idea to put a 80-year-old Rey Mysterio out there and give him a match, a little tune-up. Not like he's ever wrestled in his life before his actual WrestleMania match. But maybe it was a good thing so he didn't tear it on WrestleMania. So that's one.
What's he predicted to be out for? That injury at his age?
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, maybe forever. That's true. He could just come back and retire, do a last match or a couple weeks gimmick. But then who else? We got Tama Tonga is actually severely injured. I heard. I don't know on what, but you don't expect to see him back anytime soon. That's why we got Jacob Fat 2 out here every week. He's like the man now, and it's just so weird how Solo went way up here and now he's all the way back down here, like immediately. Yeah. But he's trying to stay as the guy that's up here. You know what I mean? But now he's kind of like he's the enforcer for Jacob. They need to rework that and fast because this doesn't make any sense. But then,
not at all.
Who else we got? Oh, Bryan Danielson retired.
Yeah. It's about time.
Done ski. Right. Are you sad about that, Danny? You're a Bryan Danielson fan, right?
Yeah. Just his AEW run just really turned me off it, though. I'm afraid he just sniffed his own farts a bit too much, and yeah. I mean, it's a shame because I loved a lot of his matches, but AEW it wasn't the place. WWE might not have been the place to say it, but just wrestling some schlubs for it's sad. I'm sorry, no, it is sad. It is sad. Daniel Bryan he had a great heel run in WWE when he had that bloody wooden belt, and he was just like a proper prick, and he was shouting impotent at people in the crowd, and then that just stopped for like no reason whatsoever. He had Rowan behind him, I think, at that point. Then in AEW he was a heel, and he was doing a very similar sort of gimmick where he was just giving the crowd shit. And then that stopped, and they put him in that fucking faction with Moxley, and it's just, just there.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
AEW is where you go if you want to tarnish your legacy, and that's what's happening with him. It happened with him and Cope.
Mm-hmm.
But fantastic career, and I'm glad he didn't just like end his career less like in a ring, because at one point, because he wanted to keep wrestling, I just thought he wants to just injure himself and be like, right, that's it now, I am finished. And nobody wants to see, a decent person wants to see, just injured beyond sort of like repair for your last match.
He said his neck was hanging on by a string.
Yeah.
So that's not good. You might not want to wrestle on that. Even one last time, so.
But I'm glad.
That's why WWE wouldn't clear him, because they knew it was terrible.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad he doesn't have like a wife and kid at home, just watching and hoping he doesn't. Oh no, wait, yeah. There's maybe an argument for being selfish there to a degree. It made a load of money. You don't really want your wife and kid just like being scared you're going to die in the ring by just getting a little bump from some schlub from the indies.
Imagine you get take some kind of crazy bump from name some job or an AEW, and that's it. That's like your career because you took on some guy from New Japan that they're like trying to experiment with or whatever. That would be just mind blowing.
Or just like Darby Allin does one of his silly bloody, I'm going to throw all of my body weight at you in the head. And that's okay if you're Braun Strowman or Wardlow or someone built like a brick shithouse. But if your neck's hanging on with a thread, that sort of thing, it's like, oh yeah, who put you out of your career? Oh yeah, but you wouldn't want to admit to that, would you?
This is a nasty one too. Here's another injury. RVD out there. MLW taking on Matt Riddell. He's got like this spot for years where he gets knocked off the apron and lands onto the guardrail out there.
Stomach
make
first.
it look like this big deal, and so he gets knocked off the apron onto the guardrail, and he like misjudged it or something and landed right on his feet instead of letting the guardrail take some of the impact. And it just what is it? Where is it? Fractured both his heels. Right there. Which I think is also an injury that happened to the guy that hurt Big E.
Bronson Reed.
No, right? He fractured his ankle, one of his ankles. But this other guy, the one that hurt Big E, that went to NXT, I guess
Ridge Holland.
Ridge Holland. He somebody did a spot where they jumped onto him from the ring onto the outside, and his heels and everything just all mangled. It looked gross. I seen that like X-ray, so that's it exactly what I pictured, because that must mean your whole Achilles and everything is all just like fucked up, you know. So I don't know. I don't think he's coming back from that in his 50s.
Yeah,
no,
that might be it.
You become much brittle at this point. You know, like Cope just put out, and I can't believe I just said Cope. Edge put out that it takes him a week to be able to walk normally after every single match at this point. Like, why are you doing this?
I don't know. They love it too much. Maybe it's just so great coming out there to the crowd, and they get that adrenaline rush, as they say. We've heard it a million times, right?
Get over it.
To be fair to
stop being so selfish.
To be fair to Rob Van Dam, he was one of the ones who you could just like drop on his head and he'd just like bounce and get back up, and he was quite springy, wasn't he? He wasn't that fragile, but yeah, he's in his 50s now. So even though he was quite supple and bendy, you don't want to land on your feet like that.
No. And
I'm pushing 50, and at this point, it takes me at least an hour and a half to be able to walk every day. So I can't imagine this crap. Like I am a crippled mess when I wake up in the morning.
And speaking of Cope, he spoke on the mock spot with the whole spike bat and everything again, and he said,
"Oh God."
He goes, he only cares about the live reaction, the people that are there, and they liked it. He gets it, but, you know, times have changed, and everybody wants more and more and more, and they got to...
But they don't, though. But they don't. This isn't ECW. Come on, man.
Yeah, so... I mean, that's his take on it. He understands, like he said, I get how everybody doesn't like this or is talking about it, how it's really not necessary, but to him it is. So you know what? Take another one. Take another hairbrush in the ass. Where's that sample?
Go take another hairbrush in your ass.
Do whatever you want. Land on him. Put him in the ass.
All right. Get hit by a bus.
Should be fun.
Something.
So more injuries coming soon, folks.
Yep. Right. Seems a lot of ankles. A lot of ankles a week out there.
And how about this AAA being bought by WWE? Now they got all the Mexican wrestlers, and I heard a lot of people over there scared because, of course, a lot of people in their production, I'm sure, and the corporate spots, and especially in the ring, that it's going to be shaken up pretty good. Like Alberto Del Rio, see you later, buddy. We know you're not sticking around.
Big nose with a small dick.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's one of their priorities. They've been saying online that they want to fire him as quickly as possible. So, which makes sense. I mean, he's a mess. He's always been a mess. He's always been a problem. I mean, you got to think about your business and being sued and all this other stuff. You know, Nick Khan can't come out every time and start handing over $1,000 bills to people for Alberto Del Rio's bullshit.
There was an incident with him recently where he got in a fight with somebody in the crowd, and then they started throwing chairs at one another, and like some old lady got hit. It's a whole thing.
You can't do that shit.
Not for Del Rio.
It's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, he was never that great. What was his personal announcer? That was good. His music was good.
Yeah.
But in the ring, he was just like so mid, so just pretty generic, to be honest. I never thought he was world champion material, but someone saw something in him and pushed him to the moon.
And
he was at a time too, like I say about Edge all the time, that there wasn't a tremendous, really deep roster at that point. You know, there was a lot of mid-carders that were up high, and he was one of them.
I noticed this. I seen this coming. Remember a few months ago, they were on one of these streams. I was like, where are all these Mexican wrestlers coming from? Well, now they just bought AAA. It makes all the sense in the world because it looks like they were building up to that. You know, you got Berto and Garza and the LWO and friggin' Andrade. And yeah, it really, there's more. There's a lot more, trust me. But
you know, Penta and Ray.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Penta and Ray then show up, and Americano Grande, one of the greatest Mexican wrestlers ever.
I mean, that was the big one that you're like, what are they doing?
I love that gimmick, and I love that he's backstage wearing a T-shirt that says El Americano Grande is like biggest fan.
It's so great. So great. That's why I laugh at people online. They're like, oh my God, this is so racist and Gulf of America. Oh, like, God, have a sense of humor. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's these people. They want to be mad. They just want to be mad. But we got how about this story? Where's The Rock? Come here, The Rock. Come here.
God.
So what do you think the plan is for the Lucha purchase? Do you think they're just going to add a new WWE show, or do you just think they're going to keep AAA and just repackage it? And
they got to add another show.
Yeah.
I mean, there'd be too many wrestlers. Why buy all that and not have like something for it outside WWE? You can't add any more to the WWE. There's
what
not
about WWE Speed? You could make it more than 5-10 minutes or however long it is currently. And if you've got a load of luchadors, it's going to be all fast-paced. Fuck you, Tony Khan. This is our answer to that.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
There'll be a lot on the Speed thing, but that's like, I don't know. Maybe the social media stuff will start to pick up at some point because people will be, I mean, eventually you're going to stop watching long form anything altogether unless they're like older, I guess. Because it seems like the younger age people, they don't want to see shit past like 9 seconds. So, yeah, maybe the Speed matches are going to be the wave of the future and stuff. But I don't know. I would say if this is a mighty big purchase to make to not give it its own like place. Here's what they should do: create Lucha Underground.
Right, we said that
with AAA. We're good.
Yep.
You know,
that's what it should be, and they should look to bring back the production team and all that stuff, so they don't fuck it up, and make it look like it did, and just on a bigger platform. I think it would have been bigger if it was on a bigger platform. But wasn't it on like Spike TV or Vice or one of those fucking third-rate cable channels?
Yeah, Netflix years ago. I remember when it ended up on there. But
yeah,
it's a good buy for him. Obviously, I don't know if it's great for wrestling, but overall, the WWE is they're just gonna keep growing. They're the fucking Borg at this point. You know, you can try to do stuff to them. It's not going to work. They're just going to get stronger.
Yeah.
And The Rock, he's getting stronger over here. Look at him. He's beefing up, but he owns his own name now. He owns The Rock. He bought it for like some $30 trillion million or whatever it was.
Stock options. Fuck it.
So yeah, good job, Rock. You got your name. What was it? The SEC said it was 30 million in stock, 900,000 in royalties, 2.6 million in travel royalties. Yeah,
Jesus.
Off one name, The Rock. Something as simple as that, but you know.
And Don Morocco gets nothing. Who originally had Don The Rock Morocco, but yeah. It's nothing.
Right.
I remember Vince, they were talking about him back in the old Stern days. I heard this old Rock interview recently again, and they were just laughing at him. They're like, he owns your name? And then they were like, and he's like, yeah, well, Vince is a great guy. And he's like, well, yeah, of course you have to say that. You know,
he owns your name.
Yeah, he owns you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's gross.
Good job, Rock. And then also this leads me to everybody complaining about TKO, and I don't even think especially, you know, it's a lot of these kids. The kids say the darndest things out here. They don't need to know what they're talking about. They're just going to be upset about stuff. And one of the things they're upset about right now is TKO, their prices, and what they've done to the WWE. Even though I'm pretty sure the WWE was created, well, obviously by Vince McMahon, but TKO was created by Vince McMahon, and I don't think people are really understand, at least had a hand in creating it. You know what I mean? It was a partnership. So you can't really hate on TKO so much because that's WWE, then hate on WWE. You know, I don't.
But they think, you know, it's the same thing going back to Vince too. Like back in the day, everything was Vince's fault, you know, and they don't understand there's so many people that have so many hands in this thing, and you do have TKO, but then you got the board of directors, and then you got Nick Khan, and then you got Triple H, and you got all the producers and the bookers and all this stuff. It's not one person or one entity's problem. It's not just Trump's problem. There's, like we said, there's a Senate, there's a cabinet, there's, all this other shit. Yeah. All his fault. And poor Triple H is only the creative fucking chief officer or whatever the fuck. And they blame all the business decisions on him. Come on. It's easy. Like I said, it's easy just to point the finger and go, fuck you, TKO.
When in the era of Vince, I think it was easy to put all the blame on him because he was just like the be all and end all for a lot of the decisions.
Yeah.
We mentioned last week with the adverts and people being above Triple H, but Triple H does have some responsibility because he's supposed to be the one that translates all of the business stuff into the wrestling world. So he could have stepped forward at some point and gone, actually, maybe 12 different company logos in the ring at one time is a little excessive and it's going to distract people from what's going on. But instead he was just like, sorry, how many bags of money? Cool, bring it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So you're right with Vince starting TKO in the way that he did, but the business is still Vince's vision. They're still going ahead with Vince's vision. He laid the foundations, but Triple H isn't to blame for everything, but there are some things he could sort of like maybe have spoken up and said, we've gone a little bit too far now. We don't need to have the sponsors of just like people arriving in the arena or like, oh look, there's the Prime bottle thing again, just sat there, and it's excessive, and he should be the one I think that translates that to the non-wrestling folk.
Yeah.
Well, how about?
And he doesn't do a good job. I agree at doing that.
How about just creatively? I remember seeing this post from Mr. Frog Splash this week, and it said, Travis Scott is playing a big part in the WWE title picture. Logan Paul is fighting for the world title. Pat McAfee feuding with Gunther. Bad Bunny rumored to return. This isn't wrestling, man. I don't like the direction WWE is going with, and I'm 100% on board with them.
It's too many. If you just want to have one sort of like pseudo celebrity crossover thing to draw a few new eyes to it, then fair enough. But when you're relying on a lot of that, it's like, is the wrestling side of your business not good enough?
Oh, it's like back in the day when Ken Shamrock came in. You know what I mean? They didn't have 5 other people coming in after him. And Ken Shamrock is way better than most of these fucking people that are coming in.
He's not known for making content, like just videos in like suicide bloody forests in Japan and shit like that.
Yeah.
He was known
but like you guys are saying, it's like they're not, but they're just flooding way too much at once, where it's like, I can understand 100% why the IWC is getting pissed at that. It's like an infiltration into our shit,
Mm-hmm. And it was all started, I believe, by the worst of them all. He just won't leave us alone. Where are you, fathead? Where are you, fatty head?
I thought you were going to blame the Miz for a minute. It just, but no.
I can blame the Miz. Of course.
Pat McAfee is the Antichrist.
Did you hear his promo this week, anybody? Because I muted it.
I don't care.
I'm not even lying.
People were saying it was great and shit. I doubt that. You guys suck.
Couldn't have been good.
I think I'd rather go back to Mauro Ranallo off his meds on commentary than Pat McAfee now.
Yeah.
So apparently he was putting over Cole huge. He's got this fight with Gunther coming up. It's just, I don't want him in my wrestling anymore. Get out of here.
Does anyone give a shit about this?
No. From what I'm seeing, it seems like everybody's on the same page. We don't like this. Nobody wants this.
No. What a waste of a match. What a waste of Gunther's fucking time. Like, why is that a thing? The ex-world champion is taking on Pat McAfee as his next fucking opponent. That's where I'm like, Triple H needed to really think about that shit.
I will never understand the love fest they have with Pat McAfee. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Followers.
Yeah.
It's the followers.
Ugh.
My God, that's really it? All because you have followers? Jeez.
The theory, honestly, I think the theory is the fans of Pat McAfee will be watching wrestling, and a certain percentage of those will switch over and be like, oh, I'm going to be a wrestling fan now. The same goes for Logan Paul, the same goes for Bad Bunny, the same goes for that, I've forgotten his name already, the 100-pound mark with the belt with himself. That's The Rock's little lackey.
Travis Scott.
Yeah. That's why they do it. Like I say, I understand why they do it, but just too many at once. It's relying too much on that rather than having faith in your own product.
It's a slap in the face to the talent. That's what I feel. Oh, okay, you guys aren't good enough, so we're going to bring in fucking iShow Speed.
Oh,
you know?
Show Speed.
Fuck me.
How are these people famous? Seriously, I don't. I get it. They put a camera on themselves since they were 8 years old or whatever. But okay, even with that, what are they doing? What's making everybody watch it? Why do the kids watch this stuff? They watch the head in the toilet thing. You know what that is? You ever seen that?
Yeah, skibbity toilet. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, what the fuck? Like, this is. Oh, I don't know. I hate this world. I don't know how. I hate it.
It's terrible.
I just hate. Like, I throw my hands up all the time, and I'm like, I'm just fed up. I'm fed up with Bad Bunny wears dresses. Everybody, have you ever heard of that? I'm just gonna put that out there.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
And it's like supposedly cool. Like that's cool now to.
You know, I'd sit back sometimes. I'm like, is it like the typical thing where I'm getting old and I think all the kids stuff suck and all this? But I did an experiment. So I showed Mama Sleaze, right? A couple of things of iShow Speed, Travis Scott's music, and Pat McAfee. And I said, is any of this good? And she's like, this is fucking garbage. Like, this is garbage. And I said, okay, so it's not like a repetitive generational thing where it's like, she goes, I don't understand why these people are famous. And I'm like, okay, I should have recorded the interview from an outside source from Mama Sleaze, who knows what's entertaining or not.
I guess not everyone can have a banger like Samantha Irvine can. So,
oh God, That's already off YouTube.
I didn't see it. I've just seen people. I've just seen her trying to claim that people have been mean and had it copyright struck, and it's like, no, that's what AEW does to people that make videos criticizing them generally. So don't come over here with that. Maybe it was just not very good. I'm not a fan of hers.
I saw a clip and it was terrible. I saw a clip, not even the whole thing, and it was horrible. And it was like Shorty Wanna or something. That would grow up.
Yeah.
That's the name of your song, you fucking idiot. Shorty Wanna.
I don't know. I'm clearly we're old, and we're not gonna. I just heard of who the SZA was. I thought she was a part of the Wu-Tang Clan, maybe with the RZA and the Jizza, and they're like, "Where'd you come from? What rock you been living under?" I'm like, I don't know. I don't listen to the radio anymore because it kind of doesn't even exist. Where am I supposed to be finding this stuff? High school? Well, I don't hang out there because they kicked me out of there many years ago. So Pat McAfee.
This crap that these kids like is heart-wrenching, actually. it's makes you sad for the future.
Yep. So yeah, I get it. Pat McAfee, coolest guy in the world. Yep.
Right.
But he's going to have such a red chest by the end of this match. You'll find some enjoyment out of it. I'm pretty sure you will.
Let's hope. Watch him win.
No. I will be so pissed off.
I can't even look at him anymore. How about these guys? These spring chickens.
Oh, fuck me, yes. What the fuck is going on?
So I'm sure you guys have heard about this. This happened at the beginning of the week. We got a NWO style promo from the Hulkster and Eric Bischoff, and they have a new venture going on called, it has to do with freestyle wrestling. And I hope it's going to be, do you guys remember the show from the 2000s called The Contender? It had the Rocky Balboa was involved, Sylvester Stallone. And he got all these. There was a guy from Providence that made it on there, took one of the end matches or whatever. But hopefully it's something like that. I know all reality shows are scripted. Hogan says he's been doing the rounds, and he's like, this is not good. We don't need 25 writers for this. You know, he's kind of shitting on wrestling, and WWE in particular. Like, we don't need 25 writers for this. It's going to be off the cuff type of deal. So if it is, I think that will be way better, because, you know, the LFG thing doesn't feel real at all to me. But if this has some, you know, it's going to be wrestling, not pro wrestling. Freestyle wrestling is, I guess, Kurt Angle style, like earmuff wrestling, right?
Yeah. I'm intrigued too, but then on the other side of the coin, Hogan said, well, this is going to be bigger than WWE and UFC. It's like, stop. Just stop right there. Let Eric Bischoff talk and shut the fuck up.
Seriously.
Let me say it one more time so you completely understand.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is where we shed our blood, sweat, and tears.
And they're like on his earpiece, shut up, stop talking, just pose.
Yeah. Just do that. Like, oh God, too many head traumas. A lot of these guys is just, you know, The Rock, Bryan Danielson, this guy, all these older wrestlers are coming out and saying the stupidest shit on the planet. I think I can't remember the names now, but they asked Daniel Bryan who the Mount Rushmore or who he would start a business with, and it was all those indie Will Ospreay fucking talentless pieces of crap that he put out. And I'm just like, CTE is real. Stop it. Like, Hogan is fucking almost 70, if not 70 years old. He's getting delusional and stupid.
He's got his beer now, though. These are business ventures, Sleaze.
But he needs a mouthpiece. Let Eric Bischoff talk, because he's much more coherent.
I think all you really need to do with Hogan is, you know, like you get the round, what do we call them? The girls that come up with the signs that say what boxing rounds they're on. Hogan just needs to have the round number on a T-shirt underneath the T-shirt he's got on top. He comes out and just round one, and then he leaves, and then he comes on later and just
fantastic.
That's all you see. You get that little nostalgic. Oh, look, it's Hulk Hogan. Oh, wait, look at that. That's cool. He's pulling his T-shirt off, and then he doesn't have to talk. He can just see what's coming up next, and he can just communicate via ripped T-shirts.
No, but what's going to happen is at the end, when they're announcing the winner and all this stuff, he's going to grab the mic. He's going to call somebody in the crowd the fucking N-word, and it's going to be stupid. Like, get Hogan away from me.
And he's going to bang somebody's wife in the middle of the ring.
Right. He's going to shit his pants because he's old.
Does he just call someone the N-word at random, or does he have a lottery sort of system where he's got like a little tombola thing and he's like, right,
no, listen.
Ticket number 73. You are
you are an N-word.
Saying the N-word during pillow talk, all right?
Oh. So you never know, because these old people, they say the most random shit, like out in public, and he's old. So that might be flying.
Old people and kids, they all say crazy things.
Just old people go to racism, mostly. Kids don't do that. They don't know racism yet.
Well, now with these phones, they do. There was a third man in this team, supposedly. And then everybody's like, who's the third man with Hogan and Bischoff? And it ended up being, I think, a guy named Izzy Martinez. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, great. Nice suspense there for that. Who apparently he was a badass. So he might be a wrestler or something.
I'd never heard of him in my life.
So, yep.
I thought it was going to be Scott Hall.
I mean, I'm going to keep I'm going to watch the show, but, you know, well, I'm not going to watch it more than once if it stinks. All right? You Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, I'll try it out. First
and
N-word, I'm out.
Go, Danny, you don't have to message me. Just
no worries. I didn't want to blurt it out and cut you off. Right, thanks for having us. Good night, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Easy,
Enjoy your weekend. DannyDamage.co.uk, loads of articles, wrestling stuff, and non-wrestling stuff. Enjoy. Thank you very much.
Hail Satan.
See you, Danny.
Yep. We're all joining the dark side.
Oh, yeah. Entertaining.
The salute with the Hail Satan. That's our thing now. Maybe we'll have to have a T-shirt like that. Big guy with red guy with horns. Why not? Let's lean into it, Sleaze.
Oh, God. That was the biggest surprise in the show since we've been back. Is that upside down cross that Reezy pulled out? What in the blue shit was that?
It was random. I mean, he stands up and I'm seeing it, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, here comes a cross, and I'm like, whoa.
Right. Me too. I took a double take. I'm like, that was real. That was.
I want to. Sorry.
Next week. Next week he needs a chicken bone necklace for that. That's what he needs.
Go street voodoo with it. Yeah, it's too bad too. I forgot to get to it. I have to get to the Reezy stuff first because I know he has to go. But we'll talk about it again. But he was on with us talking about Just Incredible. Remember we were talking about Just Incredible recently and the scamming and all this stuff.
Yeah,
and Reezy's on with us and doesn't even bring up the fact that he was one of the people that was scammed. Yeah, so
I didn't know that.
We gotta have him tell us that story on here. So that happened, and he's also in talk with other wrestlers that are kind of like trying to get money out of him. And I'm like, I'm trying to tell him, like, Reezy, don't do this. Don't pay any of these people.
No,
I'm like, if they're gonna come on the show, or you're gonna get them to come on the show, they're getting some kind of promotion out of it. Even if they sell a T-shirt, which it happens. Okay, you got to put your name out there. Nobody knows who you are. You're just a guy making $10 or whatever for throwing yourself off a building, on an indie wrestling scene. Talking on a podcast should be free. It's like what's
yeah. No, that on an inside thing that should be a fucking rule on the show. Is where none of us are paying anybody. No, even if it's out of your own pocket, don't do that.
Reezy was trying to do this with he's digging the show. He's a part of it, and he wants to see it grow and stuff like that. And he wants to get people. And I had to tell him, I'm like, listen, if anything has to do with the show, just at least ask me first, because the money should be coming from me if it's coming out of the show, or if this is for the show. So don't go paying any of these people, because they like to scam these wrestlers and comedians and whatever out here,
Well, we're saving him from being scammed. You know what I mean? We're saving him from, throwing somebody $500 and never seeing anything from him.
I'll give you a quick story right now of just asking somebody to come on the show. So Sasha Reigns, who's a great longtime listener right here. WWE also let go Shotzi. Thank you for that update. We did speak about that earlier, but she's great correspondent, of course, on the show. So she hit me up on the DM one time and said, hey, Dr. Huge, this Warhorse guy, he's been out, he's doing stuff, right? He seems cool, and maybe you should have him on the show. And I want to have people on the show that are involved in wrestling that are actually trying, right? Because they're not trying to scam generally. So if they're making a name for themselves, like Thunder Rosa, she's out here, she was on Grimm's show, she's doing this, she's doing that, she's welcome to she wants to get out there and put her name out there because she knows she's got the stuff. So I'm like, oh, it looks like this guy thinks he's got the stuff, and he wants to like show everybody and tell everybody about it. So I said, hey, send me follow me back so I can send you a direct message, because that's how it works on Twitter sometimes. And he follows me back. I send him a thing. I said, hey, one of the people that watch my show really interested in what you're doing and thinks that you should come on and tell us about it, blah, 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 if you'd like to come on sometime. And he blocked me.
Okay. I didn't see that coming.
Right.
I thought he was going to ask for money.
Okay. I get blocked because I asked somebody to come on a podcast. And then finally it like sunk in where I'm like, the indie wrestlers think they are up here. Many of them, not all.
Right.
I said there's the Thunder Roses of the world that are actually going to get. She's reaching for the brass ring, as Vince McMahon used to say. She's actually doing it, and she'll treat everybody with respect, because on your way up, like the old wrestling quote would go, where you're gonna have to see the same people going up, you're gonna see them coming down too, and so you want to treat everybody decently. And if you don't want to do a show, just say, hey, I don't have time, whatever. Make up an excuse. My dog got hit, whatever, by a car or whatever. You just make up anything. But these indie wrestlers out here, they want your money. They think that like I'm a Mark or some of any of these people out here, and they're like, well, money and well this and well that. And if we're not talking that, then we're talking about viewers. Well, how many viewers do you got? Does it really matter if you're gonna be on a channel, multiple channels maybe out there? I don't understand these people. To me, and I was telling Reezy this on the phone this week, I'm like, they're losers. That's loser behavior. Yeah. Like taking bumps for $10, and then you're gonna ask fans for hundreds of dollars to talk to you. Like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Prime example back in the day when we didn't really have a fan base, we just started out and all this stuff, was James Ellsworth. He was on WWE television and all that stuff. But at the same time, he had his, let's say real job, and he was an indie wrestler. So when you reached out, it wasn't like pulling teeth or anything like that. He didn't ask for viewers. He didn't ask for money. He wanted to put himself over. So he was going on all these, like every podcast, it seemed, that wanted him to come on to promote his product. That's the way it should be, especially with these up and comers and all that stuff. We're not going to give you $1,000 to come on the show when you're not even on TV. You know what I mean? Even if you're on TV, we're not going to give you $1,000. You're coming on to promote yourself. And if you don't come on, whatever, fuck off. We're still going to be here and talk shit.
I've seen this with like 80s horror people from certain like actors and actresses that haven't been in shit in like over 40 years, but then they're asking people for like, oh, well, send a car for me if you want me to come to your studio, and I would like this much money, and I'll split how about I split all your super chats that you get, and blah blah blah. And it's like, whoa. Nobody's showing up for you, first of all. Okay, you might get one or two people to show up because of you, maybe, but you're Bob from Nightmare on Elm Street. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Part 5.
You're asking for money and cars, and like, okay, so yeah, we're just to let everybody know out there, we're not playing that game. Okay, if anything, you pay me.
No.
Okay, and then I can use it, and I can pay for restream, and I can pay for the lights to be on and everything else. Me paying somebody else to promote you?
No.
Wow. Oh, and like I said, the other thing that just goes right up my ass, these people that go, oh, I'll come on. How many viewers do you have?
Enough.
How many viewers do you have? Which means is like that, and that's literally a message I got just without anything else. Hey, blah blah blah. Would you like to come on the show? You can promote whatever you want and talk. You don't even have to stay that long. Maybe a half hour, 20 minutes. If that's all you got, I can work it into the show and things like that. How many viewers you got? I got at least one. At least one.
Fucking balls on these people, and it seems to be getting worse. These people are trying to make a living off this kind of stuff instead of making a living off what they're actually into. It's not just us. I'm sure it turns off like so many fucking people. Like, how do you do that? I'd be honored. You know what I mean? If somebody called me up, like if let's say Jim Cornette called me up, do you think I'm going to tell Jim Cornette or ask Jim Cornette, hey, can you have a car for me? Can you pay for my plane ticket? Can you pay me, $2,000? No, it'd be an honor for me to go on his show.
Say it's Joe Schmo with 2 followers and a viewer. Why not go on for 10 minutes?
Yeah,
why not go on?
Out.
And then that it literally just spreads. And then if you say you did that 5 times a day and did your own little PR, and it would build up and build up, and who knows, maybe one of those Jimmer Bobs or whatever that had one viewer all of a sudden has 100,000s of viewers. It happens. Right. And then they want to have you back. These people don't think about any of this. It's all, what can you give me now? Yeah. What can I get out of you right now? And, I'm not dealing with these fucking people. It's just, I'm sick of it. I'm disgusted by a lot of them.
in the entertainment business, and that's what wrestling is. It's the same as, movies or music or anything. It's the long game. You know what I mean? Some people do come up quick, and it could be for certain reasons or certain backing or certain money. But if you're going to get into, especially wrestling, and you start off where you're in a gym or you're at a fucking baseball stadium, with 200 fans and shit, it's putting yourself out there as much as you possibly can, selling your product, and it's a long game. There's a lot of wrestlers that got in their fucking mid-30s, 40s. Look at DDP. He was old when he got into the game, and it's a long road.
And he was easy to work with. That's one of my biggest things with the indie wrestlers aren't on time. They barely get back to you. It's all about what they want to do and what they're trying to get over, and not like anything that has to do with the show. They don't even have to listen to it. They could give a shit, right? But the people like DDP or Kevin Sullivan or whatever, they actually will do their homework. Thunder Rosa sent me a message and said, "Listen, give me a list of questions, so I can prepare a little bit." All these indie wrestlers, they're coming on, they're eating, they're making fucking sandwiches, they're late, do you have anything to sell? Oh, I think I have something. Like, get out of here. You know what? We don't need you.
And it's funny because they think they're doing the right thing, but there were indie wrestlers that we got in contact with back in the day or even had on the show that are nobodies still. You know what I mean? Because they're not doing it right. This is a learning lesson to any indie wrestler that's out there right now. We know we've been watching for 40 fucking years at this point. We dealt with a lot of these, indie people and even people in AEW and WWE and all that stuff. It's
the lower on the totem pole you are, the more everybody acts like a superstar. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's nuts. It's bad.
People coming on my show, they're fucking watching other shows while they're on my show. It's like, okay, I got it.
Fuck
yep,
off.
Got it.
Right. You're who from where?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, how many tickets did you draw last weekend?
Look at me sitting here spending hours of my life every week. Not only doing the show, preparing the show, getting things together, clips, this and that. And then you can come on and fucking watch another show. Yep, got it. Cool.
Eat a dick.
Well, that does it for me. We got some more notes. We can talk later on this week if we all want, if you really want to. But, Saturdays, 3 p.m., that's when it mainly happens around here. So shout out to all the people in the chat. Paladin out here, of course. Sasha Reigns over here. The Greg. Haven't seen Greg in a long time. You need to show up more. Yep.
The Greg.
Everybody's slowly coming back into the Huge-inverse. All the Huge-inverse megastars coming back. Yep. And don't forget, I got an album to sell over here. Spotify, Apple Music. We got the podcast, of course. That's on Apple Podcasts. The audio version of the show you're listening to right now. Then we got the store, where you can pick up some shirts and things. I'm going to be adding more to it. So stay tuned for all that. And I think that's about it. Anything you want to tell the people, Sleaze?
I make it easy. I got a QA code right here. Take your phone out and do that, and it brings you to all my shit. I'm working on merchandise still. I mentioned it before. Higher Love Creations does all my promoting and all that stuff. Look them up if you're interested in getting anything out there. They are fantastic. So follow the fucking show. Like, subscribe. Spend some money.
We got Dr. Huge Show here on the YouTube channel. If you're watching on Twitter and X and things, get over to YouTube, like the show, hit the notifications, all the buttons over there, and that would be just totally awesome. We're creeping up on 200, Sleaze. It just blows my mind. I watch.
Well, it's good because everyone needs to sit there and do that and get our numbers up so we can get some indie people that are wondering how many people we have, following and fucking all that shit, and pay them.
And that's the other thing. It's like when they want to see numbers, it's like, well, which ones? Especially these days, there's a million friggin' platforms and things to use. So I send them the one that I have like 5. Like my TikTok, because they kicked me off. I'm like, here's 40 people. And they're like, oh yeah, I'd love to come on. No. No, that's not how that works. Anyway, cool. Yes, the music is awesome, Paladin. I got another album coming soon. I got to mix and master it. But in the meantime, I'm doing all this. Like, I'm trying to put the Dr. Huge show over. The music will be there. You know, all the other stuff will be there. The show is this is the key right here. YouTube, if we could ever get monetized on YouTube, bro, woo-wee. And there, like I said, I've been scoping some shows out on YouTube lately. Thousands and thousands of subscribers. Why? Because they don't swear ever. That's my guess. Because we've been restricted since day one and we're struggling to get 200 right now. That's crazy because what we're giving you here is so much better. So sorry, all the other YouTube wrestling shows, but yeah. If you're really good, then you're at least in competition, but most of you is that's not a competition. We got under 200 subscribers and get more people in our chat. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
So shout out to all the viewers, listeners.
At the same time.
I mean, they're really the best. They're the shit. So, and it's really word of mouth that gets this through. The algorithms aren't helping us. Tell everybody about the show. Maybe they'll show up with you some Saturday or some weeknight. But I do plan on doing some weeknight shows. I know I've been saying that for a while, but expect it. In the meantime, I'm going to go read the rest of my Revenge list, and then we'll get back to you later. Everybody have a good rest of your day.